Good evening, everybody. I got an important question for you guys. Who goes on the stream today? Kit Chi Zayets, rabbit or cat? And his little tail. So let me know who goes in the pocket. Not much for air alerts right now. Kharkiv has been under air alert for an hour 8 minutes. Donetsk for an hour and 7 minutes. Going to ZCU News. There's one story I'd like to cover before we get into the operational information. This war must end. It just repeats. So, NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, this war must end. Our support for Ukraine will not end. We stand by you in the fight for freedom. We will continue to help ensure that Ukraine has what it needs to prevail and ultimately join NATO. There can be no peace in Europe without peace in Ukraine. So today and every day we salute the brave Ukrainians who keep the flame of freedom burning bright. Their heroism and sacrifice are an inspiration to us all. Slava Ukraini. So, meeting at NATO headquarters, they were joined by several content creators and artists who prepared a piece of digital artwork highlighting the importance of the partnership between Ukraine and NATO and the bravery and resolve shown by all Ukrainians. I am going to put a link to this in chat, so if you want to check out the video, you can check it out later. But let's hop into operational information. Nope, that's today's. They put that out really early today, but we're doing yesterday's. So laser guided anti-aircraft. Yeah, Ukraine's getting very high tech. A total of 174 combat clashes took place since the beginning of the day. Ukrainian defenders continue to resolutely repulse the enemy's attempts to advance deep into our territory, inflicting fire damage on it. Russian invaders launched 4 missile attacks using 12 missiles and 46 airstrikes using 74 aircraft bombs. In addition, more than 300 kamikaze drones were brought in to attack, and about 3,000 artillery shots were fired at the positions of our troops and populated areas. Got to remember that, because Russia mainly fires at civilians rather than the Ukrainian military. In the Kharkiv direction, the enemy stormed 10 times the positions of our units in Voschansk and Staritsa. According to preliminary data, today the losses of the enemy in the direction amounted to 52 servicemen killed and wounded. Our defenders destroyed a tank, 4 armored fighting vehicles, an anti-tank missile complex, and damaged 3 cars of the occupiers. Again, most of the activity is in this area, Staritsi and Voschansk. Russia is doing some attacks here once in a while, and I believe, just my personal opinion, they are launching bombs in this area to loosen up defenses for a probe into this area. I'm guessing we're going to see this attack probably before the new year. In the Kupiansk direction, the aggressor carried out offensive actions near Petropavlivka, Koloniskivka, Zagorovsky, and Lozova. Ukrainian defenders stopped 14 attacks. 2 more clashes continue, for a total of 16 attacks in the Kupiansk area. So Lozova, Zaharyuzova, Kulovivka, Koloniska, really pushing hard and trying to, to show the gray line along the road that goes into Kupiansk and the bridge crossing the Oskil River. Of course, that bridge is not operational right now, but this is Russia's trying to advance down this road to get into this Kupiansk settlement. Moving on to the Liman direction, Russian invaders attacked the positions of the defense forces 16 times near Trovdro Hulibo. That one's a new one for me. Novoyehorivka, Gravika, Terny, Torsky, and Sirobyansk forests. 3 clashes continue until now. The forest they're talking about is this area here. Terny. Okay, why did they stop showing Toretsk? Looking in the wrong direction. Toretsk, Terny, Makivka, Hrivka, Novoyehorivka. Okay. So again, just attacking along this front here, trying to push over to this road. Not a pleasant situation, but it's getting nice and chilly in this area, and the snow is falling. Actually, let me... Oh, I had that video queued up, but I moved it for some reason. I don't know why. Crap, now I can't remember where that video was. Well, it was just a soldier showing that the snow's coming down. I thought it'd be cool to show you guys, but I lost the video for somewhere. If it was on Dennis's, no. I do got an interesting video from Dennis, but I'll go into that one later. And the other one later. Okay. Scroll this up a little. In the Kramatorsk direction, the enemy stormed our positions near Trasov Yar and Stupochny 3 times. The battle continues. And in the Torets direction, with the support of aviation, the enemy attacked the positions of Ukrainian units near populated Toretsk and Sirobyanivka 5 times. Apparently nothing significant happened in Service direction today, but in Chasov Yar, Stupochny, Chasov Yar, again, they're not making much headway because Ukraine has good defensive lines and is right in not facing the huge onslaught that they are further down south in Pokrovsk and Kharkiv. Toretsk direction, Sirobyanka and Toretsk. Deep State is showing Russia presence in the private housing section of the village. And that's the push they're showing today. The main things to watch for is going to be this center area here. And the mining piles. Shoot. I'm just messing up all kinds of stuff today. I had videos set up and I kind of overdid it and kept looking when I should have just left it on those ones. Oh, I failed you guys today. I apologize. Oh, let me see if I can find these again really quick. I know it's in here, it's just a matter of where it is. Ah. Oh, that's loud. You see the size of those flakes? So that one was from United 24. Shoot. Oh, here. Here's the one I want to show you from Deep State. Of course, I use their maps to show you guys, but I kind of wanted to show this to show you what Tourette's looks like. Almost every building, the roof is gone. And in a second here, it's going to turn around. Come on. See how level and flat this land is? And you notice the mining. Let me back it up just a second. So there's one mine tailing pile. There's another, and there's a third over here. And then the big one right here. That's the big one, and then the smaller one, and then this one, and then the ones over in this direction. So the camera video you're seeing is in this area somewhere. And watch this area. And you can see the Russians fleeing the house that just got blown up. Again, that looked like it was right in this area right here. So that's what's going on in Toretsk. And you saw in that video, none of these buildings have roofs. They've all been hit by damage, artillery shells, FPV drones, what have you. There's not an livable house in this entire section of Toretsk. In the Pokrovsk direction, since the beginning of this day, the enemy attacked 49 times in the areas of Mirolubivka, Promina, Lysivka, Petrivka, Kamchatsky, and Putinska. Our defenders repelled 38 of the assaults. 11 attacks are ongoing. The situation is under control. The losses of the occupiers today in the direction amounted to 208 soldiers killed and wounded. Ukrainian soldiers are also destroyed an armored combat vehicle and 4 cars of the invaders. Pokrovsk just south, and Mirolubivka, Lysivka, Petrivka, Pustinka is here, and very, very minor change right here. So, Russia lost 208 men to gain a little bit of a tree line and a foothold in the ravine for the river. They didn't even get into this small village here. That's not worth 208 men in my opinion, but apparently Russia thinks it is. In the Kharkiv direction, the enemy made 26 attempts to break through our defenses near Brivka, Sonstivka, Zora, Khodorkova, Delaney, Katrinivka, and Antonivka. 6 battles have been completed, 10 are still ongoing. And of course, Khodorkova is just to the south of Pokrovsk. Zora, Sonsivka, Brativska, of course, Khodorkova, Delaney, Antonivka, Katrinivka, and there are reports that Delaney is 100% occupied by Russian forces now. This road between Konstantinopolsky, I'm still not saying it right, but it's close. But this road between Khodorkova and Konstantinopolsky is under threat now. More advances have been made into the outskirts here, but it's mostly gray area, and they're starting to occupy some of the older village housing in next to the reservoir. The gentleman from the 46th Brigade in Khodorkova released a video, and I want to show you this video today. As you can see, here's the reservoir, and up here is the old shoreline. This was like a marsh area. You could see how much the water has dropped by the water line on the plants in the area, but the shoreline used to be up here, and now it's all the way down here. And that is the village area we see, and boats used by Russians. Does anybody else get reminded of like turning the lights on and watching the cockroaches scatter? So but you can see they're still in that marshy area of where the reservoir used to be filled to, and you start seeing the road there and the buildings in that town. That's how Russia is getting into, they're taking boats from over here and crossing what's left of the reservoir, trying to get into like these village areas here. I think that video was from this area right here with those built large square buildings. So yeah, Russia is making it to that area, but they're not making it for very long. In the Vermis direction, the enemy attacked our units 14 times, tried to break through in the directions of Trudovi, Konstantinopolski, Rozalny, Sukoyali, and Novodorivka. 2 attacks by the occupiers are still ongoing. And unfortunately, it is not good news in this area either. Delaney got taken here, and you'll see a lot of, still farmlands, but a big expansion by Russian forces in this area. So back here by the village, and basically closed half the distance to Velika Novoslipka. I'm going to take a minute here, get caught up with chat, and see what you guys voted on, the cat or the bunny. So Blue, Ronnie, good to see you. K-Bell, Blonde Blomscheller, Nikki Hill, good to see you. Sally Luz, good to see you. And I see a lot of kits, so there we go. There's a kit. Where was it? Heavy decisions there. Yeah, these were, I'll talk about these in a second. Once we get through the rest of this and get caught up with chat. Oh, happy birthday, Ronnie. I didn't know it was your birthday. Oh, I'm inside hiding from the cold, K-Bell, so Asbestos Snow from Wizard of Oz. When I lived in Seattle, like the one time that it snowed in Seattle, those flakes were huge, but it never really stuck until you got into the hills outside of Seattle. Yeah, I had negative 48 last year, Niels, right before I went to Ukraine. Don't insult cockroaches. Okay. I guess in some cultures, cockroaches serve a purpose. Once you hit a certain age, birthdays are just another day. Okay, I am caught up. Um, 99 in 2000, and I moved back to Phoenix in 2001. I was actually living in Kent and helped set up a Fry's Electronics store in Renton. Uh, yeah, I'll get to that in a minute, K-Bell. In the Order Heap direction, invading troops once stormed the positions of the defense forces. Oh my. Piatakatuk area? I got to see the spelling on Deep Space Map because I think that is not correct. In the Dnieper direction, our troops repelled 3 attacks. The enemy had no success. There is no significant changes in the rest of the directions. We'll come back and talk about Kursk. So let me see if I could find this town they're talking about. Okay. Piatikadni Katsky. Piatikatsny. Okay. I'm going to have to ask my friends how to pronounce that because I don't think I'm saying it right. That is a hard one. The operation is ongoing in the Kursk region. Enemy aviation continues to attack its villages and cities with guided aerial bombs. Ukrainian soldiers repelled 27 enemy assaults today in Kursk. It is worth noting that soldiers of the 14th Separate Mechanized Brigade, the 81st Separate Air Mobile Brigade, and the 38th Separate Marine Infantry Brigade, who are effectively destroying the enemy, causing him significant losses in manpower and equipment. Glory to Ukrainian defenders, glory to Ukraine, and of course, Heroam Slava. I forgot to, Dnieper direction, and I'm sure the assaults that are happening are in this area here. Go up to Kursk, and no changes in the front lines that we know of so far. Ukraine is holding its strategic areas. I've heard, but not from any reliable sources, that the pockets of Russians that were encircled in this town and on this road here have been either eliminated or captured. But fighting still is very heavy, and Ukraine is desperately, I shouldn't say desperately, knows that holding this area in Kursk is going to be huge on the negotiation table for if and when Trump tries to force a negotiation between Putin and Zelensky. So they know its importance and are holding strong. Kharkiv air alert has gone off, and Sumy has started 12 minutes ago. They'll talk about my little friends. My friend Elena in Kiev, she works with a group called Rutia Flower of Hope. It's a civilian action organization in Ukraine, not just Kiev, but all throughout. They collect recycled materials and use the money from the recycled materials to support the troops. They make, cute little cats and other uh, projects, home goods, stuff like that, and sell them to raise money for the armed forces, along with just regular collection of donations. And it's an amazing group. She had her birthday. Elena's birthday was on the 20th, so 2 days ago. She, of course, made this one. And let's see if I can get back to. We've been chatting a lot, so I have to scroll way back up to get to her posts about other ones. She was trying to get a job because she's been out of work in Ukraine for quite a while now. But she is getting back into it. Those of you that watch Rick the Ukrainian, she made these for Rick, and made Rick smile. But she basically has given up on trying to find a job and is going back to making these. I haven't got the details from her yet, but I will be, once we hash out all the details, I'll be making a video and telling you guys where to make donations to send to her to get your own little kit or Zayet. Of course, the pros, she keeps a little bit of it to buy the materials and keep making these, and then the rest goes to Rutia Flower of Hope. Again, that'll be more in that video when we get to that point. But yeah, that's in the works. So I wanted to let you guys know that. And I get to make Blue happy right now with, I opened the wrong channel. Total combat losses of the enemy for November 22nd, the 1,003rd day of the war. Russia has lost 1,050 troops today for a total of 728,300. 1 tank, 13 APVs, armored personnel vehicles, 5 artillery systems, 1 multi-launch rocket system, 1 anti-aircraft warfare system, 1 UAV, 8 cruise missiles, 32 vehicles, and 1 special equipment. A lot of people are saying that these numbers aren't accurate. They're as accurate as they can be. They are verified through video. We barely get to see maybe 5% of the video that's produced through this war through the FPV drones and everything else. And I've had this is the dumping ground of the Russian rockets in Kyiv. When they down a rocket, you can see the hit marks from anti-aircraft or anti-missile operations on them. And you see these things right here. Let me see if I could zoom this. I guess I can't. But these right here are carriers for anti-personnel mines. And I can't see one offhand, but there's another one for anti-vehicle mines. But again, this one is in Kiev, and then this one is the one in Kharkiv. These are the shells that Ukraine and the missile housings and everything that Ukraine has collected so far. Okay, you can tell by the size here, these are anti-vehicle mines, and then these ones are the anti-personnel mines. Most of these were dropping mines in Ukraine from a distance. Just those little pedal mines that fall down, from, get released from these things. They fall down. Nobody knows where they went, where they're sitting, or what they're doing, because Russia doesn't track any of this to make cleanup easier. And of course, these larger ones are for anti-vehicle again, and you just see the sheer number of it. And this photo was from the summer of last year, I believe. And oops, I meant to click on it, not close it. I apologize. I think the other one was from spring. One of them's from summer last year, and one's from spring of this year. I can't remember which one is which. But go through and hold on, close my personal conversation here with Elena. And give you guys an idea, all this stuff is videoed, all the losses, all the, I don't want to show this too much, but all the vehicle losses, all the tank losses, all the soldiers, APCs, everything's on video. And there's more video footage out there than one person could watch in their lifetime. So drone on drone combat. Bye bye Russian drone. Um, 64 drones were taken out today. But it's more interesting than that. I'll translate it for you today. Russia launched 114 UAVs. 64 were shot down, but another 41 were lost on location due to electronic warfare by Ukraine. Brings the total to 105. 9 UAVs either got to their target or they don't know what happened to them. So, yeah, Ukraine is doing an amazing job on knocking these things out of the air. Electronic warfare is taking out a good percentage of them. Oh, I apologize. So 105 were taken out with electronic warfare or shot down. 4 were still in the air, leaving 5 of them that hit targets at this point. But again, this is all on video. There, I think I can show that part of the video. So yeah, it's all on video. It's all okay, I can't show that video. It's all out there. So if you hear anybody questioning whether those numbers are real, Tell them to watch the videos. Go to Reddit and watch the videos. It's an insane amount of videos that we're seeing. And for every video we see, there's 100 others we don't. Zelensky's speech. Oh, I had that up already. And of course, Zelensky does his speeches every day. You can watch this in other places where they do a dub rather than the sub. I personally like listening to it in Ukrainian and seeing the English words. It helps me learn pronunciation and additional words. So that's why I play it in the Ukrainian with the English subtitles. Enjoy. Wait, before we go, get it back to normal.
Бажаю здоров'я, шановні українці і українки. Сьогодні оприлюднений перший список осіб, які позбавлені державних нагород України та спеціальних звань. Всі вони обрали підтримку злочинної війни проти України та й просто втратили гідність. Навіть прізвища їхні називати не хочеться, і вже ніколи їх не буде тут в Україні, тож і всі зв'язки їх з Україною ми приберемо. Служба безпеки України готує нові пропозиції щодо таких санкцій. Друге. Сьогодні встановлено вже більше деталей щодо нової ракети, якою Росія ударила по Дніпру. Ми дамо всі деталі журналістам і міжнародним медіа. Світ має знати правду та усвідомлювати, що єдиний, хто не хоче миру, це Росія. Саме для того Росії потрібні ескалації. Я вдячний всім партнерам, які вже відреагували на цей черговий приступ російського божевілля, але й окрім слів треба діяти. І, зокрема, за моїм завданням, міністр оборони України вже проводить зустрічі з нашими партнерами щодо нових систем ППО. Саме таких систем, які здатні захистити життя від нових ризиків. Коли хтось починає використовувати інші країни, вже навіть не тільки для терору, але й для випробування своїх нових ракет через терор, то це точно міжнародний злочин. І від Росії це знущання над позицією таких держав, як Китай, держав глобального півдня, деяких лідерів, які щоразу закликають до стриманості, а у відповідь отримують від Москви незмінно якусь нову ескалацію. Тому світ повинен звучати серйозно у відповідь, так, щоб Путін дійсно боявся розширювати війну та відчував реальні наслідки своїх вчинків. Справжній мир досягається завдяки силі, не інакше. Третє. Що стосується нашого реагування тут в Україні на ці російські удари, на різні інформації про загрози. Сьогодні вже 1003-й день цієї війни. Всі протоколи безпеки зараз такі ж, як і раніше. Якщо лунає сигнал повітряної тривоги, треба реагувати, берегти себе і йти в укриття. Якою б не була російська ракетна загроза, її не можна ігнорувати. Але коли немає повітряної тривоги, держава, виробництво, посольства, всі мають працювати однаково. І сприймати інформацію, зокрема від розвідок, саме як інформацію, а не дозвіл на вихідний. Це стосується всіх, від Верховної Ради України та інших структур та гілок влади до органів управління в областях і громадах. Сирена звучить, йдемо в укриття. Коли немає сирени, працюємо і служимо. У війні інакше не буває. Маємо бути свідомі того, що товариш Путін буде і надалі залякувати нас. Він на цьому всю свою владу побудував. Важливо вміти правильно реагувати та робити все, щоб ця війна поверталась додому в Росію і щоб там відчували, що таке війна. І ще одне, я хочу подякувати нашим бойовим бригадам, які проявили себе ефективно за цей тиждень. 38-ма окрема бригада морської піхоти, 39-й окремий зенітний ракетний полк, 68-ма окрема єгерська бригада, 102-га, 108-ма, 124-та, 126-та окремі бригади ТРО, 128-ма окрема гірсько-штурмова бригада та 425-й окремий штурмовий батальйон. Дякую вам, воїни. І окремо всім підрозділам в районах Курської операції, всім, хто дійсно стійкий. Слава Україні!
Героям слава. And that is Zelensky's speech for today. Assuming he's gone off. Doing those speeches every day, that is his own personal effort. Okay, I didn't want to show yours without permission, LJ. I'll show yours here. LJ, I think it's because he's really Rumpelstiltskin. So these are some of the ones that Elena made for LJ, and we shipped a bunch of stuff to LJ from Ukraine. She made a big donation to Rutia and my friend Elaine. This is one that went to her daughter, and the dog got on the bed and chewed the back of the head out, so she had to repair it. That's not from Ukraine, but that's an add-on in South Dakota. So Ukrainian South Dakotan, just like me. It's too long if you're yeah. A lot of people forget that if you're on PC, you can just auto select somebody's name when you add them. On phone, on the YouTube's phone app, you cannot do that. You have to type in the full name. The drone wars have begun. No pets allowed. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Sally. I love having my animals. All but one of them are also food. Oh no, these are just these aren't pets. Okay, caught back up with chat. And on to the horror, the losing of brain cells and IQ points that is mass media, modern media, whatever you want to call it. Fox News. What they know about the missile, yeah, I've heard it all before. I wish I could read that because I know it's going to be a nice flaming review from the New York Times. Unfortunately, not in a good way. Still talking about 1,000 days of war. Threats are escalating. The Independent. This is no time to surrender to Putin's rockets. Still less his words. The West can either give the Russian leader what he craves without a fight, or it can call his bluff and watch while he does precisely nothing. The Russian leader is a bully. Everything he does proves it. I'm liking this guy so far. By their deeds shall we know them. Matthew's Gospel. But his history has proved that he should not automatically be taken at his word. He did, after all, reassure a variety of European statesmen and women that he had no interest in invading Ukraine. Just before the deeds that followed the announcement of his special military operation suggested otherwise. His constant threats of thermonuclear Armageddon, growing more intense with every Western act of support for Ukraine, have come precisely not. Excuse me. New York, Paris, and London were not bombed in retaliation, and nor will they be. His lack of deeds here belying his real intentions. One day the boy in the Kremlin, may not cry wolf. Either way, it will always pay to treat his sometimes rambling pronouncements with a degree of skepticism. His attempts to intimidate the West have occasionally caused some to pause and reconsider the strength of their commitment to Ukraine. That is understandable. Germany, with its history and different dynamics that are present in its domestic political culture, need not be derided for reflecting on his Eastern policy. At the moment, however, President Putin's bluff is unusually blatant. Apparently, Russians have recently developed a new conventional intermediate range missile, which was launched, they claim, in response to American and British permitting Kyiv to use longer range missiles against targets on Russian territory. It so happens that the new Terror rockets aren't that new. The Russians and Soviets have for decades had all the missiles they could ever need, short range, intermediate, intercontinental, that can be launched from the land, sea, air, and in space. The new weapon has predictably been trialed against Ukrainian targets, not Washington, D.C. President Zelensky has rightly expressed his fears for his people. It may be that the new hazelnut missile can carry more warheads and travel longer distances than the older Iskanders. Okay, it's just rambling at that point. So yeah, he launched an old missile with a new name. Again, everybody's been talking about World War III. No, it's not World 3. It's the leverage Trump needs. Okay, that sounds interesting. Bolstering Ukraine now helps Trump in January and beyond. Ukrainian forces use, yes, we know about them using. Cue the hyperventilating from the usual suspects about the warmongers dragging us into World War III. Okay, that's a good one. But is that really true? Or did Biden finally give the incoming administration exactly what Trump needed? Leverage. First of all, the breathless cries about the imminency of World War III have been wrong every single day since February when the invasion started. Despite the consistent but ultimately hollow saber rattling from Russian leader Vladimir Putin, and of course, then it goes into the paywall. That's an interesting take by Bulldog in Texas. We've wasted money on the Ukraine war by not arming Ukraine to the teeth right up front so that it could have driven the Russians out of Ukraine and back to Moscow a year ago. I can't argue with his logic. I can't. So, an actual story. And I like how they're all quoting an ex-military commander from Ukraine. No names, no nothing. So this guy could have been like a colonel of a platoon that got fired because he was a Russian supporter, for all we know. Give us a name. Don't just say a source. Ukraine hit another training ground. So no need to read that. We know what that is. This is another interesting one. Seoul says Russia sent air defense missiles to North Korea in return for troops. I've seen other reports where it's been like 1 million barrels of oil. But now it's oh, that's interesting. North Korean troops in Russia are a fair target, Pentagon warns. Oh, fair target for Ukrainian strays. Of course they are. Yeah, that's. Hey, look, the sky is blue reporting. Again with missile launch. On the missile launch, let me go grab another video. I believe this one came from Dennis. No, it wasn't on Dennis's. There was a new oh, shoot, there was a new angle for the missile attack in Dnipro, but I don't know if I saved it or not. I don't think it is looking like I did not save it just because it is what it is. So let me see if I can find it really quick. So there is no sound. And I'm going to have to pull a Rick Golden Stream Time. I'm going to mute my mic, play this, and I'll be back as soon as I possibly can. It almost looks like something out of a video game, to be honest. Russia has suffered colossal losses in Ukraine. Is its army depleted? It's not depleted yet, but it is very close to be. And it's just my opinion, but I mean, you cannot. Pull this up. You cannot rack up these kind of numbers and not and have anything left over. 9,400 tanks. That's a lot of tanks. Unfortunately, there isn't a good number out there of what Russia had in storage. A lot of the tanks, they were pulling up tanks from World War I and World War II and refurbishing them to send to the front line. You don't do that if you have stockpiles left to use. What else can you say? Sumi is off. We catch up with chat. Your beating corner, okay. If you can do yeah, the vaporizers really help when I'm sick. The air is really dry in the winter. The cold just takes the moisture right out of the air, dries out your throat, dries out your lungs, everything. So humidifiers and vaporizers do wonders in the winter. Huh? You must have been pretty good. Your daughter found the perfect dress. Good for her. We thought there was 0 missing in the oh. Yeah, that's the thing I was surprised with too, K-Bell, is when I was getting ready for my trip, I ran into so many people that were either from Ukraine or their parents were or grandparents. There's a lot of Ukrainians around me that I did not realize. Sorry. Yeah, I know a lot of you guys give me crap about losing weight and trying to and still drinking. I'm drinking 0 sugar Coke, but I am also drinking 1.5 to 2 of these a day. So I'm working on it. I am doing my pedaling when I'm not on stream, sometimes even when I am on stream. So unless there's any questions or anything you folks want to bring up, I think that's going to do it for me today. And I'll give you guys a few minutes for the stream to catch up. And see if there's anything else I wanted to show you guys. Just looking for new videos that I could share in the Telegram channels. Oh, I could show you guys that while I'm waiting. So packet. This is UA Rockets Telegram channel. And give you an idea of a day in the life of Ukraine. See, 7, 6, 5, 4. So 1:15 or 1:17 a.m. 5 shaheeds. Cherkasky, 1 shaheed Zhytomyr, 4 shaheeds Chernihiv. And then increase at 2:10. An hour later, it was up to 6, 1, so 11 in total. Plus a new one, so 12. 3:15 a.m. 1, 4, 5, and 7, and a new one. So 8, 12, 17, 18 of them. So a plane took off in Rostov. Yeah, ballistic missile heading for Dnipro. And that was it. Basically 4 a.m. this morning. And then 4:49. 1 shaheed Klemensky, 2 shaheeds Zhytomyr, 2 more shaheeds in Kyiv, 7 shaheeds in Chernihiv, 6 shaheeds in Cherkovsky, 8 shaheeds in Poltava, 3 shaheeds in Sumy. Oh, 21, 26 in total at 5 o'clock in the morning. 5:45, it's down to 4, 2, 3, 1, and 1. And then 1, 1, 1, 3, and 1. Airplane takeoffs, more airplane takeoffs, more airplane takeoffs that could launch missiles. So these are all air alerts for certain areas. And at the end of the day, it was 114 shaheeds. Just airplanes taking off with threats of rockets throughout the day. And then, like at 4 p.m., the shaheeds start again. And they'll build up slowly over. Let's see what this. Okay, it won't let me translate anymore. But you'll see it'll start kicking off again in about half an hour. Shaheeds will start flying in, and this is a nightly thing for Ukraine. They've been dealing with this for almost 3 years now. I don't know what to say. I wish there was something I could say that would ease the mental stress that Ukraine is going through, especially the people I talk to in Ukraine. Fortunately, I'm not that person. I don't know what to say to make everything all better. I don't think anybody does. Did Mr. Krabs in SpongeBob have eyebrows? If he did, then yes. So with that, I'm going to say good night. Thank you all for coming. I really appreciate you coming to the stream. I especially appreciate you supporting Ukraine. In these uncertain times, the support is even more appreciated than ever. So keep up the good works. Have a good night. Stay safe, everybody. And don't forget, Razum the Paramoshimo, together to victory, with the emphasis on together. It's the only way we're going to do it.